Euronext has announced that Teleperformance will enter into France's CAC 40 on June 22nd as part of a reshuffling of the index. The call centre specialist will replace catering giant Sodexo, which has seen its share price slide during the coronavirus pandemic. Daniel Julien is with us, the CEO of Teleperformance Group. Daniel, welcome to the programme this morning. You must be delighted with the news.
You are always delighted with such a news, specifically when you started a company from scratch 40 years ago, a little bit more than 40 years ago, and you see this kind of recognition.
Let's ask you how you're negotiating the current pandemic period then, because I guess mixed blessings for a company in your space, in the outsourcing space. There should be some, I guess, net benefits really from this. Do you worry that some of that will dissipate as you come through the other side of the pandemic?
Not really, because as you said, there are mixed elements in this crisis. Some of our big clients have been touched, and very much, specifically in the hotel industry or in the airline companies, and the business has gone down. Some of our clients, on the other hand, specifically in the e-economy, have seen their activity boosting. But what was critical in this crisis for us was agility, which was the ability to convert our brick and mortar call center into remote work. And in fact, in less than 2 months, we were able to convert 80% of our workforce into work at home. It was quite a lot of technology and logistics, as you can imagine.
So, just on the other side of the coin, have your costs gone through the floor in terms of office space if you can put workers at home? I mean, I'm looking at it from a British Land point of view, or for one of the other big landlords in the UK and elsewhere as well. You don't need office space anymore, do you?
In the future, you are probably right, because in the future we are going to have a new balance between work at home and centers. Right now, I cannot say that our lease costs have gone down because, we have long-term lease as it's practicable. And in fact, the cost to manage this crisis is more than the benefit. What is important for us is, at a time where the economies are contracting, Teleperformance is continuing to grow. And, by the end of June, we will have found again our ratios of profitability. But clearly, March and April have been extremely tough for us, like for everybody.
Sir, your company is immersed in cloud technology and elsewhere, as we've already kind of touched upon as well. Why is it that a great European, and in this case French company, and I congratulate you as well on getting into the CAC 40, a great European tech companies are so few and far between as well? Is there something systemically wrong in France, in the EU, or in our ethics or the way we look at things here in Europe?
You know what? I'm born French. I decided to live in the US and to become a US citizen something like 20 years ago. And if there is something I love in the US, it's the flexibility and the agility, which means that if something gets wrong, you find solution to get back on your feet and to ride again. I would say that probably Europe, which I know very well, is much slower to adjust.
Daniel, I want to ask you about the customer experience, because you have a team of experts that work on streamlining that interaction with the customer, and clearly a lot of businesses have had to rethink the way they engage with customers when selling products and services at this point. What are they getting right? What are they getting wrong? Can you give any advice to those CEOs that might be listening this morning?
I think that each time a company tries to engage the customer in a way that is faster, simpler, more personal, and at the same time cost effective, the company does well. In fact, what is wrong is to try to avoid the customer interaction, because you need to address your customer needs to have a loyal customer base. But what we can do today is to mix the power of the artificial intelligence, you know, the analytics, the bots, the robotic process automation, with the human touch, with the emotional intelligence. And we have our army of 330,000 people all around the world who take care day to day of the demand of the customer and the citizens of the governments.
Daniel, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck with the coming quarter. Daniel Julien, the CEO of Teleperformance Group.